Good morning, good afternoon, good evening once again, depending from where you hear my voice from. This is the Biafran Golden Child, and I'm excited, super excited, to communicate with you again, to interact with you again, to come your way again. Let me confess it here that it gives me a super happiness when I talk about, my Biafran people, my Biafran heritage. It's always exciting, very interesting, of course, to know that, fellow, minds, fellow people, ladies and gentlemen, fellow freedom lovers are interested in hearing about Biafra. So it's a great one, very good one indeed, to come your way again. Yeah, for this morning, I want to talk briefly about, you know, um, a random discussion that took place between day before yesterday and yesterday. Yes, I think about 2 days ago, the former governor of Anambra State and political aspirant, yes, a political candidate for the last 2023 elections, and equally now the man who is in the front burner in the coalition, what they call the ADC party, the coalition, where it's he himself, Atiku Abubakar, Rotimi Amechi, and a whole lot of other politicians have formed a coalition to challenge the incumbent in the Nigerian zoo. Of course, I'm talking about none other than Emilio Okon himself. Yeah, PBT, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Yeah, but my concern this morning is not about politics because, of course, we know in the United States of Biafra, we're not interested in anything about the zoo. We're not interested in their politics. We're not interested in their campaigns. We're not interested in their political parties or formation of their coalitions because, of course, we know where we are headed. We know we're headed somewhere. We know we belong to USB. And, of course, when you belong to USB, nothing else matters to you. When you think of United States of Biafra, of course, you don't belong to the zoo, to this place that was described by the 47th President of the United States as a shithole, to this place that former British Prime Minister described as fantastically corrupt. So I'm more. One of the reasons why I'm interested in Peter Obi this morning is because he, in that 2 days, 48 hours ago, thereabout, he came out in the public and he was addressing, I mean, he wrote in his Twitter, formerly X, formerly Twitter, he wrote there that, the junta, the PBAT, and his zoo government should release Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, should release him and stop, all this trial, stop incarcerating him because he's done nothing. They should release him. And it will be a way to show everybody that indeed, yes, everybody matters. There's no need keeping him. He's not a terrorist. He doesn't believe he's a terrorist and he should be free like any other person. Of course, he did say, he made remarks like, look at the Boko Haram people who you keep freeing, who you keep, bringing back. You say you rehabilitate them and you pay them money, and you think all is well. Even at other stages, you bring them back and recruit them into your military. He said, as far as Peter Obi is concerned, the man should be released. Yes, that he should be released, and so that calm and peace should return. you know. And when he said that yesterday, I saw where the media aides of, the Jagaban, the man who said Emilio Con, I saw his media aides, running out of themselves, whipping all kinds of, attacks on Peter Obi, calling him all sort of names, and finally telling him that he has a secessionist agenda, like the Mazen and the Kanu, the criminal and a man who has been tried for terrorism and terrorist tendencies. That for him to be talking about Nnamdi Kanu, it means he too has that secessionist tendency, and he should, as a matter of self-respect, stop calling upon the administration of Jagaban to release any person who is described and completely found to be a terrorist. Such cannot happen. That he is using it as a political tool. If this is a political campaign mechanism, if this is your strategy in the coalition, it will not work. You guys cannot influence PBAT, Emilio Khan himself, the Jagaban, to take any decision on Nnamdi Kanu. Whatever your intentions are, they are dead on arrival. You have failed woefully, and you will fail again. Ladies and gentlemen, I take exception to a whole lot of things that the media people, media aides to the Jagaban said, but equally I take a big, very big exception equally to what the former governor of Anambra State, two-time former governor of Anambra State, and political presidential candidate of the Labour Party, Peter Obi. I take exception to this idea of bringing our maximum leader Onyendo Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into such a political fray, bring him into the political, gymnastics because of their political agenda. I want to beg to say I might sound a bit offhandish when I tell you I find Peter Obi, very culpable. I mean, why should you bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu into his political campaign? Yes, indeed, it seems it is very, very likely that he was just speaking from one side of his mouth. Because, ladies and gentlemen, I want to make bold to say that ever since the trial of our maximum leader, back to back, especially this back to back past 4 years, P2B has not made any meaningful contribution or clamor for his release. But I find it a bit, you know, uh, very, very um, suspicious that at this time, when the so-called coalition is interested in garnering all manners of support and all manners of, international and local recognitions, he's bringing up our maximum leader's case, knowing fully well that this matter is in the court. Ladies and gentlemen, you might not agree with me, but I make bold to say that I find it will be remarks and, this time around, suddenly pleading for a political pardon of our maximum leader, very, very, hard, to swallow. Yes. You might ask me why. Why did I feel this way? The truth of the matter is that we have seen in recent times, ever this time during, especially, the human ordeals of our maximum leader, Onyendo Nnamdi Kanu, we have seen that a whole lot of political leaders, especially in the southeast, have turned their eyes the other way. Every time what we hear is a different story. Every time what we hear is a fabricated story. They would always, come to the cynosure, say one thing about IPOB, say one thing about Mazen Namdekanu, say another thing about Simon Ekpa, and when they turn again the other way, they go out there and condemn them. It is on record that most governors in the southeast, most leaders in the southeast, political leaders, including senators, including House of Reps members, even local government chairmen have taken it upon themselves to describe our maximum leader, Mazen Namdekanu, as a terrorist. They claim that he and Simon Ekpa are the ones who make the Southeast ungovernable. They say a lot of things that are negative about our two prominent leaders, Onyendo Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa and Joko, our prime minister. They say these things, and these are some of the things that this junta in the zoo, this Jagaban administration are using now, quoting in the court, using a max so-called DSS operatives as witnesses. They are quoting all these things that our leaders have said in the southeast, using it against, our maximum leader. They say he's the one who engenders all the problems in the southeast. He's the one who encourages people to foment trouble, to cause arson, destroy police stations, make the generally peaceful southeast, former peaceful southeast, a terror to behold. They said Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, does not respect political parties, does not respect governors or leaders of Southeast, that he is a selfish man who is much more interested in what is coming to him and what he hopes to gain if he gets, a liberated, sovereign united Biafra. Ladies and gentlemen, you will agree with me that since the past, let's give it the past, 4 years of incarceration of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu after his rendition or kidnap, quote and unquote, from Kenya. Most of our political leaders, including Peter Obi, has remained silent on his plight. So coming now because of a so-called coalition, coming now because of interest in electioneering campaigns for 2027, coming out now because of course he knows that the permutations in the air. He knows that from the trial so far, there are no accurate, nothing tangible that the uh, uh, the Nigerian government can accuse Mazen Nnamdi Kanu of. He's now bringing it to the fore so that if Mazen Nnamdi comes out tomorrow, he will be one of those who say, I did talk about it. I did campaign for it. I did stress it. I did accuse the government. I told them to do it. Yes, but it's unfortunate that is a political ambition. We are not into politics. We are not into electioneering. As far as Biafra is concerned, United States of Biafra is on its own. Yes, we don't belong to the zoo anymore. We know it's just a matter of time. We're counting our steps. We are taking our steps very soon and we're moving forward. We're stepping out of the zoo, the rat race, the clueless governed country called Nigeria. They want our prolific writer, late prolific writer, should actually be described as there was a country. Indeed, there was a country, but we have stepped out. The United States of Biafra has moved on. We've moved on, no looking back. So people like Peter Obi cannot drag us back. I don't care how many coalitions they're getting. I don't care how many political big heads that are coming together. It doesn't matter to us. We don't care what happens in the zoo. The Jagaban can remain there for as long as he wants, as far as we're concerned. Any other person could be there as long as they want. However they want to do it, let them do it. But they shouldn't drag the USB into it. Yeah, maybe you didn't get that clearly. I'm emphasizing here that Peter Obi should never indeed mention, a maximum leader Onyandu, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's name again in any of the electioneering campaigns, in any way or manner, because we have seen that most of them speak from one side of the mouth, and at other time, what they say in the daytime is not what they say in the night. The same people who say the Kanu is not guilty, the same people who say Kanu is a peaceful man at one breath, at the other breath, when it matters to speak most, they come and say he's the one who is engendering all the problem. He's the one giving the directives. All his audios are talking fight, destroy, burn down. That's what they say behind. But when they come in front of the media, when they face the mass media, they come and begin to eulogize. They come and praise. They come and declare Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, a peaceful man who loves peace, who cannot hurt a fly. Come on, guys. Tell that to the Marines. Why not stand? Why not walk the talk and talk the talk and walk the talk? Why not be real? You don't come now condemning somebody and just behind you start, eulogizing him. So we don't want that. And so I make bold to say again, that the media aides to the so-called president of the zoo, the Jagaban, who have taken the opportunity with what former governor of Anambra State, former presidential candidate Peter Obi is saying, and begin to lambast, begin to hit, begin to condemn Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and everything that the Biafra Republic represents. I think Peter Obi, you have drawn this. You're guilty of bringing this firewood with a lot of ants. And you have given the lizards an opportunity to play guest at your home. You have brought these insults, to a maximum leader. You have brought these insults to Biafra, United States of Biafra. Please, and please let it end here. You're a fellow Biafran. I don't know where you guys belong. I don't care if you guys identify with us, but we are telling you, as far as you are you originate from the Biafra land, you're a Biafran. If you like, to continue to deceive yourselves. If you like, continue to deny yourselves. But we know what the song says. The song, I don't remember the Jamaican man who sang, no matter where you come from, as far as you're a black man, you're an African. Yes, it doesn't matter what you speak. It doesn't matter how you dress. No matter where you come from, and you're a black man, you're an African. So it doesn't matter what our leaders say. It doesn't matter what position they have held. So far they are Biafrans. So far they're from the southeast. So far they are Igbos. They are Biafrans. They can deny it. They can shake it off. They can pretend. They can castigate Biafra. They can abuse our leaders. They can sabotage them. They can We blow the whistle on them, but it doesn't stop them from being Biafrans. As soon as we get into the, sovereign United States of Biafra, as soon as we achieve it, yes, at that time, we'll call a spade a spade. We'll call these leaders, and each one will answer to what he did. Yes, our Igbo language says, "Abatoso agoma." When the race is finished, we begin to count the mile. We begin to count the mileage you have done. Because, of course, this idea of pointing one hand at someone when four is pointing back at you is indeed a very, very wicked and unhealthy attitude. So yeah, the media aides have taken it upon themselves to respond to Peter Obi, and they are now calling him Nnamdi Kanu all sorts of names, saying he's guilty as charged, and they are waiting. Justice James Omotosho will soon declare him guilty. That nothing anybody says, nothing anybody does, no matter the level of politicking, no matter trying to blackmail the Jagaban, nothing anybody says matters. But I say a whole lot matters, ladies and gentlemen. We are not into politics. We don't belong to the zoo. We don't aspire in 2027 to occupy any positions in the zoo. We have moved on. That was a country then. Nigeria was a country once. We've moved on now to another country. Take it or leave it, ladies and gentlemen. We belong to USB. And in case you don't know, the USB is the United States of Biafra, already declared sovereign. United States of Biafra. Nothing is taking us back to the zoo. It doesn't matter how many people will try to eulogize our, maximum leader. It doesn't mind. It doesn't matter. No matter what they say, it doesn't matter what the media aides to the so-called Jagaban are calling Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter what they say about our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa. What we know is that USB have come to stay. USB have come, it has come to stay. It was inaugurated on the 2nd of November, 2nd December 2024. It didn't matter that our Simon Ekpa was arrested. Deputy Prime Minister, former Chief of Staff, Dr. Ngozi Arabose, come onto the fore. She came on, and in the land of Finland, at Leyte, Finland, she inaugurated the USB. They redeclared the United States of Biafra. So it didn't matter what anybody says. The flag is already hoisted. There's no going back. We have gotten support. We have the eyes of America, the United States of America president on our case. We have great personalities in Europe on our case. We have the Prime Minister of Canada in our case. We have people all over the world who are interested in our matter, who have said, yes, we agree with Simon Ekpa Joko, who have said, yes, we agree with Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. Yes, we agree with the Biafrans. They have suffered a lot. They have been subjugated enough. They have been trampled upon enough. They have been betrayed enough. They have been denied enough. They've been treated so badly. They have been treated like a conquered people. You can't say a country declared itself after a civil war that lasted between 66, 67, 68, 69, 70. A people who were almost genocide. The complete genocide was proclaimed on them. And you want them to be happy when you declared. A head of state declared after the war. He's still alive today. Head of state General Yakubu Gowon. He said, no victor, no vanquished. And yet, you treat these people like a trampled people, like a defeated people. You make sure they don't sleep and wake up. You make sure that they don't drink their water and drop their cups peacefully. You create a lot of problems for them. Every time they plant, you go and destroy. You nip the crops before they grow. How can you be so mean? How can you be so wicked? How can you be so reckless? Very insensitive to these people. And you expect them to come and bow down to you. You expect them to come and claim to be citizens of this country that have treated them with such wickedness, that have treated them with such pathological hatred, that have shown so much pathological hatred against them. You want them to come back. It's not possible. It's never going to be possible. We have let it go. Like the snake sheds his skin. When the skin of the snake has become old, rumpled, wrinkled, all of a sudden the snake, it sheds its skin. It goes through a process of skin shedding. And after that shedding, it metamorphosed, metamorphoses into a brand new snake, very tender, very loving, very agile, and slippery. And so the snake, the snake recreates itself. Yes, he recreates himself. So that's what Biafra has done. We have gone through a state of metamorphosis. We have gone through a state of hibernation. We have come out of it. We're shedding our skin. We shed the skin and we're moving now. Much more energized, much more equipped, much more, stronger and better than before, much more resilient. We're moving into our promised land. We're moving into United States of Biafra. So we don't care what people are talking about 2027. We don't care what campaign is going. We don't care what coalition is going on. Peter Obi, please don't bring Mazen Nnamdi Kanu into this politics. Don't bring him into any coalition. We're not interested. We know that Mazi Onyando Nnamdi Kanu will come out from this so-called trial. He will come out stronger. He will come out better, and he will come out a free man. Free, yes, free without any encumbrances. He's going to walk out. Yes, even no matter what James Omotosho is doing at the High Court Abuja, no matter who the cabals are, they tried it with Justice Binta, Murtala and Yako. They tried to subjugate him. They tried to stifle him. They tried to, kill him. They pressed him, almost when he couldn't breathe. But he, being a strong fighter, being a Biafran, yes, the man who knew where he was coming from, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu knew. He knew where the rain beat him, and he knew where the rain stopped. He knew whose son he was. He knew whose brother he was. He knows where he comes from. And he said no with all vigor, with all vitality. He told Murtala and Yako, Justice Binta Murtala and Yako, you cannot try me. You cannot try me. I will not be tried in the judge. You are the judge. Because I've seen a lot of prejudice. I've seen a lot of bias. I've seen wicked interests, all coming into the fore. If you don't move me away from this case, if you don't recourse from me, if you don't recourse from this case, of course I'll make the court completely dead, completely impossible to adjudicate. So, ladies and gentlemen, he fought it, he said it, and thanks be to God. Thanks be to the Yahweh that we serve. He won it, he got it. Justice Binta Nyako unceremoniously, shamefully, recost herself. She recost herself, no matter the intrigues that were involved. And the new judge was appointed, Justice James Omotosho. Of course, when Justice James Omotosho came in, he looked at the personality of the man he's going to try. He looked at who and who are behind him. He looked at who and who are before him. And he knew that it was going to be a big one, that this one is a big fish. It would be big fish. It would be too difficult to swallow. And so when he came in peace. Justice James Omotosho came, raised his hands and came in peace. What did he do? At the very, very first day of the trial, he called Nyendo Mazen Nnamdi Kanu and he apologized. He said, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, they call you Mazi, I don't know what it means, but I'm going to call you Mr. Nnamdi Kanu. I'm going to tell you this, I'll tell you right in the face. I am somebody who sticks to the law. I'm somebody who believes in right and wrong. I'm somebody who believes that after this world, there's another existence. And what you'll be judged at that other world is what you have done right and what you have done wrong. I want to leave my hands. I want to leave my steps on the footprints of, rightness, not wrongness. I want to make time prove me. I want to make, history be fair to me. I'm going to handle your case well. I feel so bad. Look at you. You've been incarcerated now, kept at the DSS journey, the DSS Donta, for how long now? Look at how you are, macheted, separated from your family. I feel for you. The last pictures I saw about you before this trial, you were a very ebullient man, very, a solid, very sporty, and you had some good weight. Well, I'm looking at you now. I can see your rib cage. I can see your jawbones. Really very, very unfair. So guess what? Brace up. This trial is going to be sincere. It's going to be fair. And I'll make sure I cross all the T's and dot all the I's. You can be sure. You can be sure, Mr. Kanu, that I'll be here to see justice done, to make sure justice is done, and the sin to be done. That's what Justice Omotosho told Nnamdi Kanu after Justice Binta Nyako had recourse herself. And of course, Mazi's defense, his most senior defense attorney, uh, Chief Kanu Agabi, two-time Attorney General of the Federation, well, when it was still a federation, not now that it has decided into a zoo. Two-time Attorney General and Minister for Justice. He is the one defending our ebullient, savvy, cool, calm, and collected Onyendomazi Nnamdi Kanu. He is the one who is defending him. And he told Justice James Omodosho, since you have taken this route, since you have decided, to respect my client, since you have decided, to do the right thing, since you have recalled that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has suffered enough, it's so much brutalities, so much inhumanity, inhuman treatment, so much, deprivation of his rights and privileges. Since you are the one who brought this up, I equally apologize. I will make sure now that my client, Nnamdi Kanu, would respect, the court, behave well, talk well, and only speak when he's called upon to speak. Justice James Omotosho, you have my blessings. We'll cooperate with you. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been it. And I believe with such inauguration, with such inception, the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is headed somewhere. We were almost faced. We were flabbergasted when they brought hooded witnesses. I mean, it was like a gangster paradise where we saw men paraded with hoods all over their eyes, part of their nose, where their voices were tainted with the mic so that you don't know who they are, you don't recognize their voices because of cars. They claim they were DSS operatives, and of course, they walk, they walk under. They are under G people, so that's the slang. They walk under. You are not supposed to know them, And so they came up and said so many things, brought up so many exhibits that eventually turned out to be nothing. So Peter Obi, for the people like you, and for those of you who want to use Nnamdi's, trial as a political gimmick, listen and listen clearly. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has no case to answer. He has not been convicted. He will never be convicted in any of the charges. His hands are clean. He's a peaceful protester. He talked only about the plight of the Biafrans. He talked about the sufferings of Ndiwo, and they brought the world to remember the incidents of 67, 68, 69, 70, when his people were brutally, almost delineated from the world, when the Nigerian forces chased these people from right from the north down to the southwest, down to the southeast, killing them, maiming them, destroying everything they had, seizing their properties in the name of abandoned properties. He told the whole world how close to 5 million, including children, including the sick and aged, were decimated, were delineated, were deleted for no apparent reason other than pathological hatred. I mean, these are people who were peaceful, loving people, nice people who fought for independence in 1960, who got independence for this country, but they were eventually abandoned. They were treated like an outcast. They were treated like unwanted babies. Suddenly, the Southeast became, the most, dangerous place to be, because of course they came with a method to kill, to maim, to destroy. That was what Nigeria fostered on the Southeast. And that is what Simon Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying. That is what Simon Ekpa keeps saying. And that is what Dr. Ngozi Arabueze, the current Deputy Prime Minister, is saying. And guess what? Guess what? The whole world is listening. Guess what? The whole world is listening. And of course, we have gotten important personalities like the 47th President of America to be on our side. We have gotten great personalities. United Nations leader is on our side. Yes, Secretary General of the United States is on our side. We have got important people. People are now, even the so-called General Yakubu Gowon, who spearheaded the this Biafran civil war. He has atoned, he has pleaded, he has cried, he has done all something. He's regretted. is trying to be on Biafra's side. But of course, because blood was spilled, because of the enormous bloodbath in Biafra land. Yes, enormous bloodbath in Biafra land. And because of the fact that so many innocent souls were killed, and their souls are still begging. Their souls still moving around, waiting to be placated. Until such is done, unfortunately, there will be no moving forward for Nigeria or for the zoo. Yes, until reparation is done, until, yes, innocently killed, innocently deleted individuals are properly given, a proper transition to great beyond. There will never be peace for the zoo. It's a cause they cause for themselves, because they fought an innocent people, because they treaded on innocent people, because of course they unleashed mayhem, genocide on innocent people. The blood is still spilling. That blood will not know peace until the United State of Biafra is fully acknowledged and given its right of place in the Committee of Nations. Ladies and gentlemen, it's my solemn appeal to Peter Obi and the rest of the political class to refrain from saying things concerning our maximum leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and from bringing prominent leaders of Biafra, including Nnamdi Kanu and Simon Ekpa and Dr. Ngozi Orabueze, into public gallery because of selfish political ambitions. No. If you don't want to stand with Biafra, don't talk Biafra. If you don't want to support Biafra, don't condemn Biafra. And that is where I'm going to hold it this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure listening to me. Yes, I might say a lot of nonsense. Yes, it might seem nonsense to a lot of people, but I'm standing here bold and clear. I'm saying, as far as United States of Biafra is concerned, we will not be silent. We will never be silent. We will talk. We'll continue to proclaim the USB. We'll continue to propagate the USB until we achieve the redeclared sovereign United States of Biafra. Until then, no person who hates Biafra will know peace. No person who fought Biafra will know peace. No person who aided and abetted what has happened to Biafra, the sad moments, the unpalatable moments, and the wicked saboteurs of our prominent leaders, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, Simon Ekpa, our able Prime Minister, or amongst those who are now backbiting, throwing banana peels on the way of our able, indefatigable, savvy, cerebral Dr. Ngozi Orabueze. They will never know peace. Long live United States of Biafra. Long live every Biafran. And until we get there, nothing will stop us. In the name of Yahweh. Thank you and God bless.
Yeah. Check me out. Superstars Media. Lord Lugard, Bloomington, Lord Lugard, and it's wild flora show. 1914 amalgamation is what we dying for. 3 nations to 1 nation, ever since annihilation. Nepotism is nonsense. You and you, clap your hands. Biafra gonna come, clap your hands. Biafra, Oduduwa, we're free now. Freedom is gonna come, we're free now. Yeah.